Remember, doggydiamondsnofilter.com is the website that you should log on to daily. Just bookmark the site on your phone, on your computer. Check the site daily. Make sure you get notifications from the site, doggydiamondsnofilter.com. On there, you can find all my social media sites, as well as new content is uploaded every day on doggydiamondsnofilter.com. Also, for $100, I could promote your content on my Twitter, Facebook, Insta Stories, YouTube community threads, and doggydiamondsnofilter.com. Hit me up on Instagram at doggydiamonds for your promo. Serious inquiries only. Must be Cash App ready. Yes, and if I didn't do your promo, please get at me on Instagram. I think I have one or two people that I did miss over the holidays. I did miss one or two people. So if I missed you, please hit me up on Instagram at Doggy Diamonds so I can rectify the situation and get your promo done for you. I think it's just two people. I might be one person, but if you are one of those people, or just hit me up on Instagram and we could just fix whatever because the holidays was a little tricky. I knock everybody out, in a prompt manner, but the holidays got a little crazy for me because I know I wasn't feeling well. I was man down with an ear infection. So yeah, as a reminder, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you subscribe, like, leave a comment, and share. Oh, all right, I forgot. Oh, start the show. You're supposed to hit the button to start the show. Start the show, hit the button. What's up, everybody? I go by the name of Doggy Diamonds. This is the Interlude TV. I don't even have a name for this show. It's just the Interlude TV news because I talk about things that went on in the news. Other thing is No Filter, which is an actual podcast, but this is just the Interlude TV news. So whatever's going on in hip hop news, news, whatever news, good news, bad news, dumb news, stupid news, I like to speak about it. So, um, I told y'all previously that the Willie D Katt Williams interview I knew it was done before the Shannon Sharp Club Shay Shay interview. How did I know? Because when I saw a preview, none of the questions that were being asked had anything to do with what just took place. So, say I got the interview with Katt Williams after I seen that viral interview. I would have asked him questions pertaining to what Shannon Sharp asked him to expand on some stuff, or just been able to have a direction to go to get some type of context. So when I saw the Willie D um, interview, I knew that it was prior to that. So many people saw it. I didn't. I saw the clip. Now I didn't watch the interview. To be perfectly honest, I didn't watch the interview, and I didn't watch the interview for many reasons. Reason number one, I knew it wasn't going to be a good flow. The way Willie D talks sometimes, I can't picture him asking anybody questions, so I knew the flow was going to be off. The key to a good interview is the flow of the interview. It has to be, for me personally, I'm just speaking for myself. For me, I don't like interviews where I seem like I'm asking somebody a question. I like an interview where it seems like we're just kicking it. We're just having dialogue in front of the world. Of course, I have prepared questions in my head that I want to ask you, but you might have went somewhere in the interview that I want to go, expound on that a little bit. The flow is just off. So when I saw the clip, I'm like, I don't think I want to see this. Plus, they just broke the internet with the Shannon Sharp. That's a tough act to follow. So this is what happened. And this is, kind of, I could say mistakes that he made. The mistake he made was trying to follow that up with a follow-up That's not a follow-up. Does that make any sense to you? He tried to follow up a big interview with something that he had prior to that interview, but in following it up, we're looking for Katt to go back down that road that he was in, and he couldn't go back down the road because he wasn't asked any of those questions again, because the questions was asked previously to Shannon Sharpe interview. So if I did something before and somebody did something after me, and then I put it out after them, you gonna, as the audience, we gonna look at, you know, I hope he asks him again about something because some of the people responded, right? So when some of the people responded, we're looking for him to ask him, what do you think about Faison Love's response? What do you think about Katt Williams? And you didn't get none of that. So you like, what the hell is this? So it was just bad timing to release the interview because it looked like it was a follow-up to Shannon Sharpe interview. And it wasn't. It was done prior to that. So people didn't like the interview. Had he released it beforehand, people probably would have enjoyed it. I don't think it was as in depth as excuse me. I don't think it was as in depth as Shannon Sharpe interview to some people. But I seen when the interview came out, it just got poor reviews off the muscle. I seen my Facebook timeline. Everybody was like, yo, he dropped the ball. This interview is horrible. This interview sucks. And again, respect to Willie D, but I didn't think it was gonna be a good interview because the flow of the clip that I saw was off. The flow was off. If you watch any interview I do, I try not to have any boring dead spots. And to me, when I was watching it, it was boring to me. You all due respect, but I could critique an interview, you know. Thank you, Chief Red Hair Brown. Thank you for supporting my independent voice. And Katt Williams is an animated person when you can get him animated, because the job as an interviewer is to get certain people out of their shell. For example, if you get a chance, rewatch my Prodigy interview, right? Prodigy wasn't really receptive in the beginning of the interview. Watch the interview over. You might not notice it, but I was asking him questions and I could see him like, you know, 2-word of me, 1-word of me answers. But then I was able to get him to be a little bit more animated and free. And then he stood up and you know, so it's when you see the interview is not going good, your job as the interviewer is to change the flow. Even if it's the line of questioning, whatever you do, you got to change the flow because you got to pick it up. But he did the best that he could, that he knew how to do. I think we was expecting something from him, and I don't think interviewing is his strong suit. I think him giving editorials, I think him giving his opinion is his strong suit. But I don't think interviewing is his strong suit. So it didn't flow. And then Katt Williams, from the clips that I saw, he seemed a little disturbed by the interview. He seemed a little, because he called him Vlad, and I was like, what the hell he called him Vlad for? You know, but I guess the line of questioning was really Vladdy. You understand what I'm saying? It was very Vlad like to him. And you know, I think that's what eventually made Katt Williams like, what the hell am I doing? What is this, right? So the fans gave a lot of feedback. You know, y'all spoke. And it was a consensus that the interview wasn't good. I think y'all had high expectations based off of what you just previous saw. I I think when he said we about to break the internet, because I think he still did well. I think he's at 5 million views. That's excellent. I wouldn't be mad at that. 5 million. He was able to break it up in clips, so he probably get to about 7 million off the interview. That's excellent. Excellent. Good, some good money too. But that's excellent, right? Um, I like the Farrakhan clip, but it was more for Cat Williams. Cat Williams ran shit 2 weeks ago, right? Now, people didn't like the interview. Now, what Willie D did wrong and what he's doing wrong, being that he's Willie D, he's conflating Willie D, the rapper, the legendary ghetto boy rapper, with Willie D, the media personality. Sometimes when you step on a different field, like Michael Jordan couldn't play baseball, but he was, my GOAT basketball player, but he can't play baseball. Not saying Willie D can't interview, but what he should have did and what he should do is take the feedback of the people and ask somebody to give him an honest answer why they didn't like it. Not, yo, you suck. This interview is whack. I think if somebody was able to give him context of what it is you didn't like, then he can say, oh, I get it. Like if he was to ask me, yo, could you watch this interview and critique it? What would you do different? I would explain what I just told to you. Yo, your flow was off. Like it can't, it seems forced, and you asking them questions that, you know, you should have let the audience know that this was previously recorded, because now you trying to follow up a nuclear bomb. You got a damn M80. You got a damn firecracker. And it just doesn't work like that. So what he did wrong is that when he got the feedback, he called y'all uncivilized mutts. Did y'all see that? I got to find that. He called everybody uncivilized mutts. And I was like, that's not how you respond to criticism of an interview. You try to get feedback so you can improve, because you are capable of dropping the ball. You can't drop the ball. And when the consensus is you drop the ball, you drop the damn ball. You can't call people uncivilized mutts. You can't do that. You can't curse the audience out. The audience, for the most part, and it's not a troll. It's not a troll. We give it a trolls. But when you have the majority of people saying your interview sucked, 10 times out of 10, your interview sucked. And is one to grow on, something to learn from, and just reach out to different people in media. It don't have to be me. It probably won't be me. But reach out to different people in media and ask them to critique your interview. And just say, if you were to do this interview, what would you do different? I would say, number one, I wouldn't have put that out after no damn Club Shay Shay. I probably would have gave them a clip, and I'd have been like, coming soon. So I would have let the Club Shay Shay rock. I would have let it go out there, and I would have waited for all that hype to die around those questionings and all that. And then I would have put the interview out like I'm going somewhere else with it. Like I'm not even talking about none of that Club Shay Shay stuff, but you followed it up like you had a follow-up. So where's the Faison Love thing? Where's the Michael Blackson response? You didn't ask him any of that. You asked him about what's the kid, the guy named Al Sadiq or something like that. People was like, I was like, who? So it was like it just wasn't good. And this interview thing is not as easy as people think it is. For one, for me, I don't write questions down. I just don't. I don't like the formality of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the formality of Q&A. When I'm gonna interview somebody, I don't care who it is. I don't read bios. And what I like to do is, thank you, SBBW Awaken. Hey, thank you for sending me. Thank you for supporting my independent voice. What I like to do, I like to do an outline in my head, and I say, I know I want to attack this point. I want to attack this point. I want to attack this point, and perfect example. I'll give y'all a Jew. If I interview said artists, right, 9 times out of 10, if they're not somebody super lit, super known, or have anything current, what I like to do in my interviews, I like the artist to give a verbal bio. So now I got to extract this bio out of them. I got to be able to get them to tell me who they are so they can convey it to you as well. Because nine times out of 10, I don't really know much about them. So I don't read bios or whatever the case may be, right? So I'll say, I don't ask the where you see yourself in 5 years, where do you grow up? I would ask them, what's their name? How did you get that name? How did you come up with that name? Um, and then I would want to know where they're from and what brings you here. Like, are you trying to promote anything? But I wouldn't ask them that. But I was like, are you promoting right now? Or we just doing content? So when I interview Mark Curry, I can ask him about his book and I can ask him about stuff that's going viral with him. Plus, I also put out an APB for Mark Curry because I needed clarity on the situation with him, right? But then say I'm interviewing Hands On. Hands On has a project that he's putting out. But you don't know that he also is executive producer for Method Man. He's also he also the guy behind the Joe Button situation. So I have to extract all of this out so you can know who he is, and then we could get into where he's from, why is he here? Why am I talking to him? And what is it that he's trying to convey to you? So if you watch the Katt Williams interview, it's like, what are you getting from that? Because Shannon Sharpe knocked it out the park. That's a tough ass act to follow. I wouldn't have put out my interview. And if you had the interview first, why didn't you put it out? See, what happens also, let me give you another thing. What happens with artists and interviewers, they'll have an interview, right? And then they get cold feet. They be like, I don't know if I'm going to get demonetized. I don't know if this video is going to get monetized. I don't know how I could put this out. I don't know how to title it. You get scared because some of the things that they might have said in the interview, you're not too sure about. So you get scared and you slacking in your macking. You had a nuclear bomb and you got cold feet and you didn't put it out. And then you see him put it out and you trying to ride off his momentum, but he should have been his momentum should have came from you. Because maybe if Willie D had to put his interview out first, Shannon Sharpe would have tailored some of his questions behind what he said with Willie D. But Shannon Sharpe had a flow with the interview. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, and I'm gonna be very, very respectful. A lot of interviews I watch are boring to me. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just boring. All the interviews are boring. The only interview that's not boring that I like is when I watch Drink Champs, because Nori's animated. He'd be a little too extra, but he's in the moment. Everybody else is, so do you think? And I'm like, God damn, you sound like the Visine commercial guy. Adam, believe it or not, Adam 22, although he does what he do, he's not as boring. Bootleg Kev, although he is who he is not that boring. But a lot of the shows is boring to me. Bag Fuel is not boring. Because Esso has personality, so does Heineken. So when the host has personality, it's not boring. But a lot of these hosts really don't have no personality. They really, like, who the fuck said you could do interviews? And you doing it because you're getting a guest, but I guess the guest is making the interview, but sometimes I hear some of the questions. I'll be like, what the hell you asked him that for? Like, that was stupid. I wouldn't have did that, right? But then now they're thinking of titles. So they're going to title it a certain way, and you're going to watch it based off the title, but you have to be honest. When you watch it, it's just whack. You know what I'm saying? It's really not it's not really that exciting. Especially if you have interviews where it's first person, meaning that you have an interview and you have a person sitting here and you're not in the interview and all we hear is your voice talking to them. The person might just be like, that shit is boring to me. So when you have two people sitting down with each other, that could be a good, but then somebody got to be animated, right? Somebody got to have some type of oomph going on. Like two people sitting there kind of monotone, and it just doesn't work for me. So I'm gonna be real with you. I don't really watch interviews. I don't watch interviews. Drink Champs is so on my damn TV. Like no matter what I watch, a damn Drink Champs interview come up. I like the Breakfast Club interviews. The Breakfast Club interviews are dope. As I recall, if I like it, I'm gonna say something. But a lot of these interviews y'all like, I'm gonna be respectful. Shout out to everybody who do anything, but I don't really like them. To me, it's just boring. Sometimes I watch it and I'll be like, I'll watch this later. But the flow be off, and interviews is a flow. Honestly, the interview is a flow. I think Willie D is too laid back, and like somebody just said in the chat, Pernell Forever said Katt Williams, according to you, because I didn't see it, was like he was a little annoyed. I felt like I was doing that to Prodigy at first. I felt like I was getting on his nerves. So mid interview, I said, no, you got to switch gears because this shit is gonna be boring to him. Or he just was answering me with like one word and shit. I'm like, damn, this nigga ain't fucking with me. No. I gotta figure it out. So it happened. It does happen. It does happen because sometimes you catch people, they not in the mood. When I did the Prodigy interview, I don't even think he knew he was doing the interview. I think we got there and it was like, yo, let's do an interview for his DVD. And I did the interview and I could just tell that he kind of wasn't in the mood. But then I gotta find a way to tear this wall down, to break this ice. It might take 5 questions. It might take 7 minutes. But you don't got 20 to 30 minutes to break the ice because people are gonna be like, this shit whack. So shit, Willie D could really celebrate. I mean, 5 million views on some shit that people call whack. Hey, right? I got 5 million views on the Ali Vegas shit, but people love it, right? So, shit, I'll take 5 million on a whack interview. But again, you have to be willing and open to learn. You can't curse out the audience because they don't like it, right? You got to look for honest feedback from your peers, somebody that you trust. And some people just like, like I guess, yeah, Pernell Forever said it was trash. He didn't have the right questions or energy to break through. Yeah, see, it's the flow, man. That flow got to be like you talking to your long lost friend. It gotta seem like you talking to somebody you was with earlier. Yo, y'all hung out last night. Y'all was playing a game. Y'all went out to get something to eat. My interview style is more conversation. My interview style is more of my phone conversation with somebody that I'm letting people hear. Most of the time, when I interview Ali Vegas, I just met him on the spot. I promise you, I didn't even know him before that. I knew of him. He knew of me. DJ Big M reached out, was like, yo, you want to interview Ali Vegas? I was kind of like, what he got going on. He was just like, I don't know. I was like, well, I like some songs he made, so yeah, let's do it. I met him right there. We didn't have no conversation. Now during the interview, we find out we got so much in common, so it makes the interview better. We find out that our birthday was like 2 days apart or 1 day apart. It might be 1 day or 2 days apart. So during the interview, the connection starts to come out. You understand what I'm saying? The connection starts to come out mid interview. And then once he gets comfortable, it's up. You know, another tactic that some interviewers are doing is they getting they getting the people drunk. You know what I'm saying? They getting people drunk. Um so they're trying to get the person to open up via alcohol, which is tricky because if I get you drunk, first of all, I don't drink. So I would never get anybody drunk. But when you get somebody drunk, once they sober up and they realize that they said something that they probably shouldn't have said because they was drunk, they're probably going to ask you to omit it out of the interview or don't want the interview up at all. So one time, when Nori comes to New York, he goes to the same area. You know, I know where he goes, right? So he hit me up and said, "Yo, I'm coming to the spot. I'm gonna be in town. Come through." So I was like, "All right." So my thing is get my camera ready, everything. Let's get some content. So when I went to meet up with him, I got some content. I got some good content. But he was hit in Brooklyn languages. He was drunk. He said something that I was like, "Oh hell no." I can't. I can't use this footage. And I think people he was like, "Yo, why?" You know, and I was like, "Nah, you said something on camera that I ain't using that. You was drunk." You know? And he said to me, "Damn, that's good looking. Anybody else would have just threw me out there like that." And I was like, "Nah, you know, you the bro." I said, "Yo, my brotherhood with you is worth more than any views." And he said some shit that it would have been up. You know what I'm saying? Because I caught him. He was nice. You know what I'm saying? I would eventually put the footage out. He would probably ask me to take it down. But I thought what he said was a little too overboard, and I thought it was criminal what he said. Honestly, me personally, I thought what he said was criminal. And I'm like, nah, you know what I'm saying? So he said something. Yeah, him and Prodigy wasn't getting along at the time. And I'm not gonna say what he said or who he said anything about, but was just criminal. And I was like, oh nah, I can't use this. And I called him the next morning. I was like, yo, bro, I can't use none of that footage. And he was like, why? I was like, yo, you said. He was like, yo, I did? I was like, yeah, I can't use that shit. I took that tape and threw it in the river. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, you really could have got a lot of views off that. If I said, nah, but and then I said to him, and this is why we cool to this day. I said, my brotherhood with you is worth more than any views. Like, you have been a friend to me, and I've been a friend to you. So why would I ruin our brotherhood and friendship? Like, we actually kicking on the phone. We don't even talk about rap. It'll be like he would hit me up about like weight. Like, we talk about real life stuff, like life and eating and cologne. And you know, when you get on a man time with somebody that's a comrade with you, and you talk about real shit, I'm not throwing that away for views, because I get views and then I lost a friend. And then later on, look how he returned the favor for me. But he could have been looking at me like, yo, you a piece of shit. Like, you threw me out under the bus. And I was like, nah, I wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and that's right there. We was like, you know, every time he see me, like, we shoot each other texts a lot. And, you know, it's different in a culture where two grown ass men express how much they care and love each other based off brotherhood. That shit don't happen because we all macho ego. So when a nigga be like, yo, I love you, bro. He's like, fuck you say? Nah, I ain't with. But it's like, it's so genuine. Like, it's times I've seen him in places that it might be 100 people. He'll see me and be like, oh, you know what I'm saying, my brother. So when it's real, that's what it is. And I don't care about views when it comes to my brother. You understand what I'm saying? And when it comes to the depiction of somebody that you care about and you can control the depiction, then you change it. But I don't know. I guess many of y'all sentiments is that y'all didn't like the interview. Um, I don't like I said, I don't think interviewing is his strong suit. I think he was being himself. I think he was under too much pressure. Honestly, I think he kind of folded under the pressure of you can't follow that Shannon Sharp shit up, especially if you don't have a follow up. You have a your interview was done prior to. So for Willie D, just keep doing your thing. And just learn from it. You still got 5 million views, right? Um, but learn from it. Learn from it. Don't curse the damn audience out, right? Don't curse the audience out. Understand why they feel the way they feel. And the information that you got out of the interview, you got to find a way to. And then sometimes if you have an interview, look at it back at yourself. Is this shit boring to you? Is the flow good to you? Perfect example. I interviewed 38 Special, but I have another one that I will never release because he was like, yo, I ain't gonna front. When I came there, I just got off the plane. I was tired, man. So I didn't like the flow. I didn't feel like I was lively enough. And I got it. He was like, yo, let's just do another one. But I still got the interview. I got the interview with me in 38 Special, but the flow wasn't there. The flow was a little off. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, well, we're not going to release it. Let's sit down and do it when you a little bit more lively, because I understand. So and we can't just always get somebody drunk and get them to spill the beans and say shit they don't have no business saying. That's not good interviews too, when people are incoherent after a while, or they said something and then people will be like, oh, he drunk. Now I want a person to be completely sober. I want a person to really be in the moment and understand what I'm asking them and what they're replying with. So to y'all, don't 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 do them like that. Kind of like a rookie mistake. I think he'll learn from it, but again, I think calling the audience uncivilized mutts, I don't think that that's right either, because what happens is that the people start getting resentment towards you, and then every interview you do, they gonna say it sucked because they know they could get a reaction out of you, right? So just improve upon it. Look back at what you did, call a peer, find out what people don't like, and just do it over. But you can't be like, let me reply to you uncivilized mutts. I was like, oh shit. Fuck. That was hating on his Katt Williams interview. Nah, you don't do that. You don't do that. So, all right, man, I'm not gonna keep y'all all night. I'm gonna let y'all go. I have some work that I need to be doing as well. I have some artwork. Yeah, he said it about the audience. Let me see if I can find it for y'all. Let me see if I can find it for y'all. Because y'all be calling me angry, say I curse people out. I ain't never. I gotta come up with something better than uncivilized mutt. I'm like, you know, I gotta find something better. And he just released some Dame that, like, so he just released some more content. He just released um Dame Dash. Released Mark Curry, which is gonna be good because this might be current. Hopefully it's not old. Um he released Dame Dash 12 hours ago, got great numbers on it, almost 100K. The Katt Williams is at 6.3. So, look, Willie D addresses the uncivilized mutts hating on his viral Katt Williams interview. You can't do that. You can't do that, because all you do is you do your thing and you come back. Look, you come right back with Mark Curry, and hopefully you have Mark Curry. Hopefully that was done after, so you can ask Mark Curry what Katt Williams said. If what Katt Williams said in the Shannon Sharp interview, is it true? So hopefully this is up to date, right? So that would be perfect, right? Dame Dash is always a good interview. You can't miss with Dame Dash. And he's up to almost 1 million subscribers, so he really don't have nothing to be upset about. He doesn't, Vlad does interviews, some of his interviews suck to me when they're not sensationalized. I'm not gonna diss nobody else. We'll say nothing about nobody else. But so how much YouTube really paid Shannon Sharp for this year? It's a lot. I don't know. I'm not into pocket watching, but I know it's a lot of money. And I don't know if what they said is accurate. But Willie D mad because we found out he's dumb. See, shit like that. That ain't right. Come on, Don Mega. Don't do him like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't do him like that. But if you look at the Willie D, if you put a the Willie D crashed out, he disrespected 6 grandmothers. Damn. That's Ringo TV reactions. Damn. So yeah, I don't know. I guess he it was a lot of pressure. It was a lot of pressure to do that, but they calling him dumb and shit. Don't do that. Don't do that. So yo, man, I gotta go. I got some shit to do. I gotta get y'all this Wesley Muhammad interview. It caused like a big uproar on Instagram. It's a bunch of goofy ass niggas responding. And there's some people who responded respectfully, but then there's some fucking goof troop dudes. I ain't going to front. I know for a fact that when you speak to people addictions and it bothers them, when you speak about marijuana, you already know that the black man is going to be the biggest defender of marijuana. A lot of times, and I'm not a smoker, but it wasn't my politic. It wasn't what I had to say. It was what Wesley Muhammad said in accordance to his studies and the book that he wrote. If you disagree, fine, but just have facts. But just something about when you speak about that reefer, that shit triggers dudes, man. It's like that shit is nigga kryptonite. Like motherfuckers can't even survive without reefer. So when you talk about reefer, they be mad as hell. They be mad as hell. Like, what? You crazy? And it says a lot. Any articulation of disagreement is fine and welcome. But when you start using insults, because when you start using insults based off of your opinion, and then you want to insult me, it's weird. You know what I'm saying? I've seen people who said what they said. They were very, very respectful. They didn't agree. I don't agree. But then there's some people who, again, when you speak to their addiction and what is, because think about this, and I'm gonna go on into, you can see actually the I can upload the Wesley Muhammad interview as is right now. But what I want to do is I want to do the angle, so I got to do some stuff with that. But I find that when you speak to people and they might hear something that is troublesome about their self in it, they don't know how to react. And if y'all watch me last night when I did the night before, when I did I think that was last night. I don't even know when it was. I be doing so much content sometimes I don't know. It's ego, man. Ego is just, because what y'all don't see, I'm gonna leave. But what y'all don't see a lot of times, a lot of things that I do is in response to. I'm never the aggressor on any opinion or what I think about stuff. Or if what I think is what I think, it might not be personal. It could be something overall. If you so choose to come at me in disagreeing, then I have the right to say what the fuck I want to say after you disagreed, but especially if you were disrespectful. And I find on the internet, people try to get a rise out of you by being disrespectful. And I'm one of the greatest disrespecters ever. This is what I master, disrespect. You know, but if I was being respectful, because I'm gonna be real with you, I never had a man in my face call me goofy, all this shit. And then it's like the um, same rhetoric. You broke, you old, you goofy. Like, how do I respond? I don't even know how to respond to none of that shit no more. It's just like, because, for the most part, when motherfuckers be like, you old, I'm like, okay, let's say for argument's sake, I am old, but I ain't no older than some of your favorite rappers. I ain't older than 50 Cent. I ain't older than Styles P. I ain't older than these people you love, right? But you don't call them old, but I'm old. Fine. If I'm old and you're young, why do you look like that? Why do you look like you about 60? Why do you have multicolored lips, hairline back here? You look decrepit. Why do you look like that? I didn't look like that when I was younger. When I was in my 30s, I didn't look like that. So what is this old thing? Old is how you look and how you feel and how you carry yourself. I am somebody that could work out for like 2-3 hours. So it's like old. I will run circles around you. So when people be like, oh, you old, I'll be like, okay, but why you look like that though? You look old. You look washed. It's already over for you. Like, you can't even age gracefully. Where's your hairline? So if you 27 and I'm old, why you ain't got no hairline? I still got mine. You know what I'm saying? I still got my hairline. I still could run on the treadmill for an hour. I still could walk 6 miles. I do this so I don't understand what this old thing is. And this broke thing that people like to say, oh, you broke. I'm like, y'all niggas never saw my bank account. What makes you think that I'm broke? And then the other retort that a lot of motherfuckers like to say is that, oh, he wants donations for his YouTube. Oh, Oh, he wants to get money for his YouTube. Now, respectfully, if you look right here, if you look in any of these descriptions, you can say investor podcast, support this. So he's already in his description, as he should. He paid for these studios. He paid for this shit. You can see him saying, support this. And I already know that he probably has a Cash App in there. Support my, here we go. Look, PayPal. He has his Cash App in there and his PayPal. This is Willie D of the Ghetto Boys. He has almost 1 million subscribers. And he probably made a lot of money in music, or he hasn't. Why shouldn't he ask for support from people who ask to support? How can they support? So people try to make you feel guilty because people support you. Niggas be saying, oh, I completely messed that up. Hold on. Niggas be saying, oh, you need to get a job. So I could be like you? I like my life. My shit is just fine. But again, whatever. I don't have time to address that shit sometimes. And it's corny. It's just old already, So being able to understand what they about to say, I know how to play chess, and I'm still running laps around y'all so-called young niggas, still fucking y'all girls. You know what I'm saying? Still fucking y'all moms, y'all girls, y'all sisters, y'all aunties, and I might knock your grandma down. So what is old? I still could knock anything down that you got. And some of y'all got them Walmart, SpongeBob, SquarePants chicks, or them white fat girls with the little short haircuts with blonde right here and brown right here that buy you PS5s every tax season. You could keep them. I don't even want that, as a matter of fact. Man, I'm out. I just pissed myself off. I don't even want them. Y'all be out of town living with them fat ass girls that got them little short haircuts with blonde on one side, them little wigger chicks, and y'all have y'all little, man, I ain't even gonna say that. All right. I'm out, man.